Before I start, I just want to do a quick thank you to everyone at Goldsmiths Lit Live, and especially Livia for orchestrating all of this, which is so far a wonderful reading. Could get worse, don't know. But I imagine there's so much work that goes behind something like this, and I imagine that somewhere in the British Museum there's like a Grecian urn that kind of dictates all the sort of trials that people have to go through just to get to this sort of thing. Anyway, let's say thank you. I'm just a poet, Most of my stuff is about me stabbing my dad in the head, so it's fine. Not this one. This first poem, I'm going to read about 3 or 4 poems. This first poem, its title was taken from my favourite part of the wasteland. There's lots of good bits, but this is my favourite. My friend, blood shaking my heart. I've come close to it. I felt peculiar in the tree's serenade, in the mosquitoes' words. In Prague it came slowly like morning shade, where I saw the beggars with their elbows flat on cobbles, their heads tucked in, the shame of who they were in the rain, their melting cups. And the sandy coat dogs tethered to black poles outside betting shops with hereditary milky eyes. To pet them was unlucky, and I watched my hand pull back. When I am the suit swathe of the city, I am not myself. Or when I saw the tenement statue of the bathing woman, bloody-nosed, the words "no break" written across her chest, I forgot who I was. I have held the ordnance survey hands of women recording flowers, and I've slept beside the forgotten daughters of wealthy Americans. It leaves eventually, and I'm left with something worse. I remember looking out of the window, thinking about my day ahead of me, feeling just fine. This is a new one. I don't really have anything more to say about it. Fine, and how are you? The woods mean something to everyone, even nothing. The trees prefer to stay together, to turn unanimously. It's complicated, but I'm glad things actually happen. No one mentions the numerous dinghies bobbing in slow water, manned by bleached skeletons, or the vague mountain peaks dotted with stiffs in fluorescent zipware. We are often neatly lined side by side, a market stalls selling old remote controls, their subtle differences conferring similar desires, to be precise, to be quiet, to recall what has just happened. How unfair to call something timeless. A brain will fan like an orange only a handful of times, open and wanting to be looked into. Moved to avoid the day's beaty heart. I've done that trick. You can lose yourself in people and be undeniably present. This poem is kind of inspired by this chef who has like a YouTube series, I guess, and he's this very sort of depressive kind of guy who mainly microwaves things that have already been made and then mixes them with like a pre-made pasta, which he has also microwaved, and then mixes them together, and he kind of stutters and he trips over his words and he's sort of quite sad, and he addresses his audience as wildcats. And every episode he starts with "Hey Wildcats," which is the title of the poem. Hey Wildcats, welcome to the final show. For today we're going to be cooking up a storm, but you don't have to hide from the rain, my poor ferocious kitties. Come join me in the downpour, because this meal is simple. Nachos, all jagged and pointy. Ouch, you may think, looking at this graveyard of dinosaur skeletons, but boy howdy, they are the business. We have all the components, cheese from, a cow I suppose, and the chips which I first had at a recent funeral, the chili, and well, this will set you back about $6, but when you look at it, that'll be $1, maybe $2 a person, which isn't bad, especially in my case when these people are all the ghosts I have in my heart. This dish moves them into my stomach. At home, I have this pile of money. Anyway, while that is cooking in the microwave I found behind the studio, let me tell you a story about nachos. My dad, well, Wildcats, he was a serious man, always thought better of me, but I seemed to have a talent for disappointing him. The only trophy I got for that was these scars when one night we had nachos and ping, well that was quick, eh guys? Mix these together, but be careful, these jars are thick and can scald even the hardiest of hides. You know, Wildcats, the microwave is not too dissimilar to the heart, which most of us have by our breast pocket. It can deal with more or less anything, except maybe metal or light bulbs. But let anyone tell you otherwise, and they are a fool. You can show them the meals that we have made together over the years, and they will be stunned, impressed even, that you can create something already made for you, such beauty, for under $6. And the last one is about how I often turn up really early when I'm meeting friends. Normally, it's good. That's all you need to do to try and phone these days. It even happened this evening, but more, I used to just sit there like 11, but now I kind of like go for a walk in psychogeography, the area. But this is about when I used to just sit there and just sort of like, I'll just have more water, please. It's called Forever Watching Love Grow, and thank you for listening. Something is flourishing in this waiting, the still seat opposite my boredom. Punctuality is something you appreciate late in life, when friends turn to tree stumps and the underfloor heating is all hard water. I wish I could grow a beard to make your arrival more regal, or at least a joke about how long I've been sitting here. Each minute is greener than the next, your face in strangers, that bowl of flowers looks so familiar. I will not eat, but debone each thought, looking for the darker meat, uncooked blood. My wooden restlessness, I've ordered water 6 times and see the dirt collecting on the floor. I wonder if we even made plans. Did I force you to feed the birds? I've looked longingly at your seat the way others look on travel websites. I feel the heat on my back and all the salads are growing warm. The restaurant lights go off and inevitably I'm lifted from you and I don't even need to say anything.